everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the Demented Librarians YouTube channel wherein we talk about all things related to story and occasionally ramble about other stuff. Today I would like to do a book review on a very special book. Well, they're all special, really. All books are special, but this one really touched me and moved me, and I really enjoyed it. It was part of a previous book haul that I did, and it was one that I was definitely interested in reading. I feel like a lot of other people have already read this book and probably done reviews on it, but it's all new to me. And the book in question is called All the Bright Places, and this book is by Jennifer Niven. So this book is the story of a boy called Finch and a girl named Violet. And the back is this, I can't even express to you how much I enjoy the post-it notes. There's post-it notes on the cover here, that's kind of the theme. And then on the back, you've got post-it notes that are going down, and there's a violet on there. And this is what the back says. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. It says, "I was just sitting there on the railing. I didn't come up here to, jump. Let me ask you something. Do you think there's such a thing as a perfect day?" What? A perfect day, start to finish, when nothing terrible or sad or ordinary happens. Do you think that's possible? I don't know. Have you ever had one? No. I've never had one either, but I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Theodore Finch, for saving me. If you ever tell anyone about this, I'll kill you. So, kind of oblique, right? So not... What is happening? So the inside cover flap does provide us with a bit more information. Oh, hey, it's my card to tell me when I need to go to the dentist next. It's very useful. Should probably hang on to that. Okay. Theodore Finch is fascinated by death. Every day he thinks of ways he might die, but every day he also searches for and manages to find something to keep him here and alive and awake. Violet Markey lives for the future, counting the days until graduation, when she can escape her small Indiana town and her aching grief in the wake of her sister's death. When Finch and Violet meet on the edge of the bell tower at school, 6 stories above the ground, it's unclear who saves whom. And when the unlikely pair teams up on a class project to discover the natural wonders of their state, they go, as Finch says, where the road takes them. The grand, the small, the bizarre, the beautiful, the ugly, the surprising, just like life. Soon it's only with Violet that Finch can be himself, a bold, funny, live-out-loud guy who's not such a freak after all. And it's only with Finch that Violet forgets to count away the days and starts living them. But as Violet's world grows, Finch's begins to shrink. This is a heart-wrenching, unflinching story of love shared, life lived, and 2 teens who find one another while standing on the edge. This book is by Jennifer Niven, who has written other adult novels and some other young adult books, it seems. Maybe some nonfiction. Oh boy. Okay, so I love this book. Let me start off by saying it. I love it. It made me cry. I forgive it that. Actually, of course I do, because one of the best things about stories is when they make you feel any sort of intense emotion, even if a book totally and thoroughly ticks you off. It still made you feel. It did something. That writing impacted you. So that was good. So I will not only forgive it for making me cry, I will thank it, because it was good for me. It's good to have a good cry. So... And this book deals very frankly and very poetically and beautifully with depression, bipolar disorder, and also with the feeling of being different, of being ostracized or being left out and alone. And also, I really feel the beautiful part of this book is that it captures what it's like to find someone who not only knows your dark places, not only listens to you as you talk about them or discovers them inadvertently when you thought you were protecting them or trying to keep them hidden, and then doesn't say anything bad to you or make you feel bad about having them, but actually says, oh yeah, me too, and understands them, and not in a way of just giving not in a nominal way, not in a, oh, sure, I get that. We've all felt sad. But no, in a way that actually makes you feel like you were understood and that you are not alone in your strangeness or your freakdom or whatever was making you feel so very solitary. And then what it's like to have that relationship for a little while, for a long while, and then the feeling that comes with it, that because this relationship is such a revelation to you, that it's made you feel so much, that it's made you feel connected and understood and empowered and happy. What it's like when you're friends with someone like that, or you're in a relationship with someone like that, and you feel that you should be enough for them, and that the connection you feel should be enough for them. It should treat them as much as it treats you. And I mean, treat as in a heal kind of way. And then what happens when it doesn't? And when, as so often happens in life, when love and affection and connection with people isn't enough to make someone want to get better or actually get better. Love is not this magical wand that fixes everything. You can't love someone better. You can't love someone into feeling or caring or experiencing life like you do. And the revelation that is, that this person, for all that they do and may genuinely care about you, their demons are simply too loud. And sometimes they succumb to them. Sometimes it's because they're so big and they don't feel like they have enough help, or they can't get help. Sometimes it's because they're just more lost than you could have anticipated, more lost than even you were, even though you felt pretty dang lost in that labyrinth. Sometimes, and I think probably the most tragic type, is when they feel like they need to take themselves away from you in order to ensure that you do not drown with them in the morass that is their mind, that is the reality, that is the circumstances in which they have found themselves through illness or choice or experience or abuse or some combination of all of those things. They don't want to drag you down with them. So they leave you. They make that choice to go. And I think that may be the most tragic one, but maybe I'm wrong, and that there's one more that might be worse. And that's when they don't even realize that they are leaving you. That they're being pulled away, and they're letting themselves be pulled away. And again, the demons in the darkness win. And then what you do after that, how you recover from that point, if you can, if that point happens, and how you go on and eventually can come to respect the experience that you had in a way that teaches you how to love and embrace every moment of your life and every experience that you have, as even in the ones that are horrible, bad, painful, say they taught you something and they made you a piece of who you are. So, light, fluffy topics for a book, small goals in a novel, but it really, it spoke to me. I've had a little bit of experience with this. I've known some bipolar individuals. I've known some people who have other, I don't exactly know, maybe they're just sort of undiagnosed or more complex to diagnose issues. And I've also been in the place where my issues were bad to the point that I tried to get away from people for their own good. And so I know I've been on both sides. I know that everybody's inadvertently hurt people when they don't mean to, I'm sure. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of human experience. Those that you care about can hurt you, and often ways that you don't expect, and they don't mean to, and it happens. But it's, this book definitely touched me. And it accomplished all these goals by creating two characters that are just incredibly endearing. They're good archetypal characters. They're very good every man, every woman kind of characters that you can put yourself on them and experience what they're going through, and also understand them for their own experiences within the book itself. So that's fantastic. The writing is crisp and clean and sharp. This is a young adult novel, and I've mentioned before in some other reviews that sometimes young adult novels have a tendency to repeat themselves. This one definitely does not. It makes a point in a very direct and steadfast manner. It's also very human. It's very emotional. It's very, I feel, realistic in a story setting kind of way. And as another kind of interesting side bonus to this book, So they do go on this school project, as the inner cover flap references, where they have to find the interesting places in Indiana to go see. And Finch outlines all these really interesting, kooky, strange places for them to go and visit. And it's not your run-of-the-mill kind of historic sites or anything like that. They're these very interesting things. I remember one of the ones in the book was this crossroads with, I think, shoe trees. I believe there were multiple trees covered in shoes. So you just, and it's just there, it just happened, and maybe there's a story behind it, maybe there isn't, but there you go. Well, this really inspired me because I thought, that is a fantastic idea. What a wonderful way to celebrate the little things and the unusual things and the offbeat, because that's also very much the nature of this book, is how these experiences and these connections with these people who really get you and understand you make you appreciate everything in life. All the bright places in life, both literally and metaphorically. And so I actually downloaded this app. I think it's called Roadside. I will look it up and put it in the description box down below. But it's this funny little app that you can unlock regions. I think you get one region for free when you get the app, and then you can pay for the other regions. This is United States. I'm very sorry for my out of the country viewers, but it's United States. There may be an international one. I don't know if there is. Comment and let people know. It's called Roadside. You get a region. I unlocked all of the regions, and then you can type in any location in the country, wherever you happen to be, and it'll give you this list of strange and unusual places to go see. Now, some of them are quite off the beaten path. Some of them don't exist anymore. I shall also warn you about that. But I learned all kinds of things about my little area, and I actually had a friend, speaking of international visitors, I had a friend, Flu, hi Flu, who came in and visited me last year, and I used this app, and we went on these adventures around my town, seeing things that were weird and unusual. Like, I think we went to a museum about the history of local music. We went to a grave of the first man who was killed in my state. Okay. And when you were trying to get to this particular grave, you drove down a kind of a main highway, off that highway onto a road, off that road onto a gravel path, onto that gravel path onto what appeared to be some kind of service road, half driveway. And then you parked and walked through a field that was way overgrown, traversed like across this meadow, and finally found this little gated area that sure enough had a single headstone in it that said it was the grave of the first man killed in the state. So interesting. So anyway, it's called Roadside. It was a very, very cool experience. I still use it. Unfortunately, I've seen most of the places around here. I haven't used it or had the opportunity or time to use it when traveling. I really hope to soon. And yeah, so go see some bright places and go experience some things. It was fantastic, and it was a great way to, I don't know, see the world a little differently. But while you're at it, also definitely read All the Bright Places if you've not read it. It's an important book. Again, I think that's probably the highest praise I can ever give anything. It's an important book. It's a good read. It's easy, maybe not emotionally, but it is an easy, fast read, and it's also very important. So all the top hats in the world to All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. Thank you so much for creating this work. Thank every author, creator, and artist out there, and every viewer out there, and just every person watching. Thank you so much for being you and for the unique experience that you bring to those who know you. So thank you, and have a wonderful day.